The moment I arrived, something felt off. I've been dreaming about this. Southeast Asia. Everyone tells you Bali will change your life. No one tells you it will scare you first. The moment I arrived, that excitement I carried for weeks, gone. I thought I'd come with no expectations, that I'd adapt to anything. But beneath the idea of going with the flow, I realized I did have an expectation to feel at home, the way I did in the van. But I didn't, and that threw me completely. And this wasn't just a holiday. We came to see we could actually live here. I make short films, and I'm also building a software business. The plan was to do all of it from here. It was supposed to be the dry season. But as soon as we landed, we experienced torrential rain. It feels like this year this October. For the first few days, we didn't have a bike. We walked everywhere. There are no pavements here, just uneven concrete with deep holes right by the road. And constant traffic. I'll never forget our second night here. With no scooter, we walked 30 minutes to a restaurant. By the time we finished dinner, it was pitch black and started pouring heavily. Pouring rain, dodging puddles and holes in complete darkness. I remember holding Liam's hands, gripping us so tightly. I could feel his heartbeat in my fingertips. As if somehow that was the only certainty in all the chaos. Walking around the Canggu area is not really an option. When we finally rented a scooter, I was terrified. Motorbikes flying past on both sides. A normal two-way road suddenly turning into 5 lanes. And the constant roar of engine made everything feel overwhelming. And that first time on the scooter, in the middle of all the chaos, I remember thinking, did I really travel halfway across the world for this? Why did I trade waking up by the quiet sea for this? Why is this place even popular? And I never even checked the air quality. But the shock wasn't just the traffic. It was also living alongside animals. The kitchen had this gap right where the wall met the roof. Coming from living a simple life in a camper van, I thought I knew basic. But this felt grimy. One evening, I was walking down the stairs, my hands sliding along the banister, when something big suddenly ran past my fingers. I screamed before I even knew what it was. A lizard, almost the size of my hand. After that, I noticed them everywhere. And I realized that here, nature doesn't stay outside. It lives with you. The place we rented had almost nothing we could cook with. And what it had, we don't use. Teflon pans, plastic utensils. We take our health seriously. Cooking our own food is a big part of how we live. But Bali is built around eating out. So the kitchens aren't really built for cooking. So our first mission here was actually finding a good, versatile pan, some utensils, and a few glass jars. We actually brought our SCOBY all the way to Bali, and this is our first kombucha batch of the island. We also brought our kefir grains with us. We spent 18 months in the camper van, making everything ourselves. That's the thing about moving somewhere new. You spend years building the way you live, and none of it lands with you. So you have to ask yourself, who do you want to be here? Do you let old routines go and start fresh? Or rebuild them, piece by piece, knowing you leave most of it behind in 2 months? When it all started to feel like too much, I began to wonder if this was a sign. That maybe I was ready to settle down, to stop traveling. At one point, my mom asked me if I was happy. And without hesitation, I said yes. And it was true. Even though I still wasn't sure this place was for me. I sat with that for a while, how both things could be real at once. Not sure I belong here, happy anyway. Not sure I belong here, grateful to be here anyway. Then, little by little, things started to shift. It started with water, actually. You can't drink the tap water in Bali. Most people rely on those big refillable bottles. But we brought our own reverse osmosis filter. It traveled a whole 1 year with us, and it became indispensable. Any tap water became drinking water. And in those first weeks, when everything around us felt new and different, Filtering our own water each night felt exactly like home. At least, one thing stayed the same.
The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds. Your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be. Got nowhere to be.
Somewhere along the way, things started to change. I just can't tell you exactly when.
Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just laugh, let it fall where it lies. Coffee's cold, but we take a sip, talk about nothing. Let the morning slip. Oh, it feels like that, like summer air through window cracks. Feels like that.
I remember the first time I crossed the road without overthinking. You just step out slowly and trust that everyone sees you, and they did. There is a kind of harmony in the chaos, everyone aware of everyone. A few weeks in, I'm not scared of the scooters anymore. To be honest, I've even started enjoying the ride.
Hello. Wow.
And the animals don't scare me either.
What is that black thing between the legs?
They are no threat to me. They've never been.
Wow. Look at this.
Everything that scared me in the beginning stopped scaring me. Not because this place changed, but because I did. And I thought that was the hard part. I had no idea what was coming next.